What if I told you that you could totally change your financial life without a budget, without a single spreadsheet, and without giving up your lattes? And what if it only took about 60 seconds every morning? I know. It sounds like some kind of clickbait, but the science behind this is, well, it's actually pretty wild. So let's dive into this super simple habit that might just be the key you've been looking for. And I mean really looked. Not that heart in your throat glance at the ATM, hoping your card doesn't get declined. And not that anxious 2 a.m. doom scroll through your banking app. I'm talking about a calm, intentional, let's just see what's what kind of look. If you're like most of us, you either check it obsessively when you're stressed out, or you avoid it like the plague because you're scared of what you'll find. And guess what? Both of those habits are keeping you stuck. So here's the core issue, and it's probably not what you think. Your financial problems likely have nothing to do with a lack of willpower or being bad with money. The real problem? It's a lack of awareness. Think about it for a second. You'd never try to drive a car blindfolded, right? Of course not. You need that constant feedback. The speedometer, the fuel gauge, the cars around you. But that is exactly how most of us manage our money. We are driving completely blind. And look, this isn't just some clever analogy. The data backs this up, showing just how blind we really are. A 2022 study from the Financial Health Network uncovered a number that, honestly, it's pretty startling. That's right, 63% of people are off by at least $500 when guessing their own checking account balance. And when it comes to investments, forget about it. That number skyrockets to over 80%. We're out here making daily decisions. Should I grab takeout tonight? Can I afford that thing on Amazon? With absolutely zero real-time data about where we actually stand. So please, hear this. Stop blaming yourself. This isn't a personal failure. It's a system failure. You're just missing a feedback loop. You're trying to improve this whole system, your financial life, without ever looking at the dashboard. And that is a surefire recipe for drifting way off course without even knowing it. But what if you could just flip a switch and turn that dashboard on? What if you could give your brain the exact feedback it's craving to start making better decisions, kind of automatically? Well, this is where the ridiculously simple 60-second fix comes in. Let's call it the Morning Money Minute. This is the entire habit. That's it. Every morning, you just open your apps, you look at 3 specific numbers, and you write them down. Period. No analysis, no judgment, no making a big plan. You're not supposed to feel shame or guilt. You're just an observer. Open the app, look at the numbers, write them down, close the app, and get on with your day. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Come on, that's way too simple to actually work. And you know what? I get it. But the power isn't in the action itself. It's in what that tiny little action triggers inside your brain. There's some fascinating science that explains why this habit has such a massive impact. So it's all rooted in this cool psychological principle called the Hawthorne effect. Basically, back in the 1920s, researchers discovered that just by observing workers, their productivity shot up no matter what else they changed. It turns out that whatever you consistently measure, your brain subconsciously starts to optimize. You track your steps, you start walking more. You track your screen time, it magically starts to go down. The simple act of measurement changes your behavior. And here's the neuroscience, which is so cool. There's a part of your brain called the Anterior Cingulate Cortex, or ACC. Think of it as your brain's conflict detector. It's always looking for a mismatch between your goals and your actions. You know, like when your goal is to save money, but you're about to make an impulse buy? That uncomfortable feeling it creates is called cognitive dissonance. But here's the catch. Your ACC can't do its job if it doesn't have current data. If you don't know where you stand financially, there's no conflict to detect, and you just spend without that internal alarm going off. And this right here is exactly why the Morning Money Minute works, where traditional budgeting so often fails. Budgeting is prescriptive. It requires constant draining willpower to say no all the time. It's exhausting. But daily awareness is just observational. It works automatically, in the background, just nudging your subconscious behavior without you having to fight yourself. It's effortless, and more importantly, it's actually sustainable. But hey, don't just take my word for it. A 2019 study from Duke University on debt reduction is pretty mind-blowing. The group that just got a plan, they reduced their debt by about $890. Not bad. The group that checked their balance once a week did better, about $1,340. But the group that checked their balance daily, wow, they crushed it, reducing their debt by $2,180. That's more than double the first group. The only thing that changed was how often they looked. Okay, so we've established that daily awareness is a total game changer. Now let's get practical. To build that full picture for your brain's little conflict detector, we're going to focus on 3 specific key numbers. These 3 numbers aren't random. They give your brain a complete story. Your checking balance, that's your right now, your immediate safety. Your total debt represents the headwinds, the forces working against you. And your investments, that's your future, your long-term growth and security. Together, it's like a snapshot of your past, present, and future, all in one glance. So, let's just see how this plays out in the real world. Morning 1, you see these numbers, you jot them down. The very next morning, you see your checking is down by $45. Now, you don't judge yourself, your brain just registers it. It's a data point. And if that downward trend keeps happening day after day, your subconscious will start to whisper, hey, maybe we pack a lunch today. It's a tiny little adjustment made automatically, all thanks to the data. So here it is. Here's my challenge to you. Just commit to this for 30 days. That's it. 30 days of a 60-second habit that honestly could change everything. And here's exactly how to make sure you stick with it. First, anchor it. Tack it onto something you already do every morning, like making your coffee. That's called habit stacking. Second, make it stupidly easy. Set up your app so you can see your balances with one single tap. Third, and this is a big one, physically write the numbers down. It makes it real and it creates a little streak you won't want to break. And finally, for the first month, just set a daily alarm. Don't rely on willpower. Automate it.
So what's this gonna feel like? Okay, the first week, yeah, it's gonna feel a bit weird. Just stick with it. By week 3, you'll start noticing these little shifts in your decisions. You might hesitate before a purchase you'd normally make without thinking. By week 4, it'll just be automatic, like brushing your teeth. And after 3 months, you'll look back at your notebook and the changes in your actual numbers will be undeniable.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Ugh, I don't want to look, it's just depressing. And that is a real valid feeling. But the research is clear. The pain of looking goes down dramatically with repetition. After a couple of weeks, the emotion just fades. It stops being a source of anxiety and it just becomes data. It's like checking the weather before you leave the house. It's just information.
And what's the long-term potential of turning your finances into simple, unemotional data? Well, let's look at a pretty conservative estimate of the difference this one little habit can make over time. Research suggests this kind of awareness can naturally boost your savings rate by about 5 percentage points. So for a person with an average income, just shifting from a 3% to an 8% savings rate and letting that compound over 20 years, that creates a difference of $140,000, all from a tiny 60-second habit that helps you make slightly better micro decisions every single day. When it's all said and done, it comes down to this. Avoiding the reality of your finances doesn't change it. It just takes away your power to do anything about it. Awareness is the first, most critical step to taking back control. Acknowledging where you are right now is the only way you can start to improve. Your entire financial life is a sum of thousands and thousands of tiny daily decisions. What to buy, what to skip, what to save. The Morning Money Minute is all about making sure those thousands of decisions are made with information, not just a whim or a hope. So, the real question is, are you ready to stop driving blind?